All right, so jumping into this week of games. First game on the board, battle for the state of Ohio. We have Cleveland. They're traveling to Cincinnati. Browns coming in 4-4. Cincinnati's 5-3, favored by 7, and the over/under is 47.5. Battle of Ohio. I got a lot of random friends recently ever since I started working at Fisher. A lot of them moved from Ohio, like surprisingly.
Yeah, who'd want to live in Ohio?
Yeah. I don't know, but it's just weird that there's so many people that migrated from Ohio specifically to Texas. But I have so many, like I have an obnoxious amount of Bengals and Browns friends that I never had before.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, shout out to Chase again. I just
Jamar
saw
Chase.
I wish, but I got the wrong Chase. But I got a snap. I was looking at my Snapchat memories, and today I had my Snapchat memory of Chase was he was sitting next to me in my friend Danny's house with his pants down, and I'll show it to you guys after this.
Okay,
that's what you get from Ohio.
Oh, okay. So
these are Ohio products, and Ohio is also in the medical world known to have like the fucking weirdest diseases that you can get in the world is in the Ohio River Valley.
Really?
So I think that has a lot to do with why people are the way they are.
That's crazy.
You know one other thing.
What?
Ohio is also for lovers.
This is true.
Dang.
Shout out to Hawthorne Heights.
Oh my
Wow.
God! So the Bengals are here 7-point favorites, right? They're 5-3. They had that disgusting loss to the Jets last week. They could have been 6-2. Bounce back game, or are we thinking the Browns with Case Keenum,
Oh, man.
Baker Mayfield? Like what's the situation? Like, do we think the Browns are going to right the ship here? I'm concerned because the Browns had so much promise early in the season, and I feel like things are slowly falling apart.
Yeah.
Is OBJ leaving going to bring the rest of the team together, or is there just so much shit show going on now that I feel like the Browns are not? They're back to poop.
I think OBJ has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah,
I think he was just the guy that dropped some passes. You know, it was just too much media attention on him. But in reality, this team is so much bigger than OBJ. They're still a run-first team, and they do that well. Chubb is back; he's doing it. As well as the Bengals are, and as hopeful I am for their future, I really want to see the Browns win this game. I don't know why. I just want to see Baker Mayfield because Baker Mayfield's been an underdog since the moment he came into the field. I personally don't really like him, but this is one of those. This is a huge game for either team.
Yep.
It's Cleveland to see if they're for real, if Bengals to see if they're for real. So, and this is a unanimous game. So I think Cleveland, it might be a little bit more skilled as a whole team because I think we saw some true colors of the Bengals defense show up. Still don't know if that's for real. So I'm going to be watching this game very, very intently and closely.
Yeah, the Browns have a very legitimate chance of winning this game, and because you mentioned it, the run game and then their defense, right? So their defense is definitely still one of the top defenses in the league. But the Bengals have this firepower with Jamar Chase and Burrow. I'm looking for them to bounce back at home. The spread is 7 points.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like the spread. I wouldn't take the spread either, but I think that just having to bounce back, like losing to the Jets, knowing that you have that offensive firepower, I fully believe that the Bengals are capable of winning this game, but it could go both ways. It's an AFC North matchup, so but I like the Bengals in this game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think again, you're giving too much respect to a young Bengals team that just came off a loss of a team they shouldn't have lost against, right? And now they're getting 7 points at home, but against a Browns team that's stout. Like when did the Browns get blown out last? Are the Browns getting blown out? Their shootout was close. The game against the Steelers was a 5-point game. Against us was a touchdown game. They won. So like they play in close games.
Yeah, just real quick, they're 7th on offense, or 6th on defense, or number 1 in rushing.
Yeah. So this spread seems like they're giving the Bengals way too many points.
The Browns are without their best offensive lineman. I think
they were without him.
They have been without.
So
they're banged up. Their offensive line is banged up. So there's that not going for the Browns. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's going to be a tough matchup for the Bengals.
It'll be tough, but I just if the Browns can stick to the run game, I think that 7-point spread should be covered. So I think it'll be interesting. Nonetheless, battle for Ohio again. I'm sure two teams want to beat the shit out of each other. So we got the Broncos. The Broncos are coming into town here, 2 miles away from us at Jerry World against the Cowboys. The Cowboys are 6-1 now. 10-point spread here at home, over under 49. Broncos coming in at 500, 4-4. What do we like in this one?
Oh man, we like everything about the Cowboys. I mean, Broncos, just their defense is pretty good. Overall, they're sixth in the NFL. Rush defense is good. Pass defense is good. Scoring second in the in defense. But the offense for the Dallas Cowboys, as you know, no Dak Prescott, but still got the job done. They've got the schemes in place. They've got a great running back, great receivers. Offensive lineman gives all the time in the world for Dak Prescott. You know, so they should definitely, you know, come up as winners on this game. I don't see how the Denver Broncos, without Von Miller,
just got traded away to the Rams.
Just got traded away. How they can come up and win this game?
Yeah, I don't see the Broncos winning this game. Cowboys are 5th on offense, 5th in passing, 5th in rushing, 11th in defense. I gave you those stats about the Browns, but the Browns were a little bit lackluster on passing offense. They were 22nd. The Cowboys might be the most balanced team in all of football.
They're complete.
Like they're. I mean, when your worst attribute is your 11th on defense.
Yeah.
Like
that's a complete football team. And the one thing is, again, we talked about the Cowboys defense. They're opportunistic, right? They turn over. They can give up a lot of yards, but they force turnovers. And so far this year, Teddy Bridgewater has not been like the safe ball protecting Teddy Bridgewater that we've seen. He's taken more shots, which has led to a lot more turnovers. So I just think this is going to be a recipe where the Cowboys will get a couple of turnovers. I'm sure Diggs will probably get his. And I think they should take care of business.
Yeah, the Cowboys' pass defense is not one of the best in the league. Their overall defense is good. Their rush defense is good. Pass defense is 28th. So I'm wondering if like Judy is a good start here against the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for receivers to start, the volume will be there because, again, on the other side, we think the Cowboys are capable of putting up points. We know they are, right? So they should score, which means the Broncos inevitably should also need to try to keep up. And, again, Teddy's making mistakes, but that means he's throwing the ball more, which is the benefactors are the people catching the balls. So, yes, in theoretically, you would think that means more opportunities for Jerry Jeudy and Courtland Sutton. But the one problem is, again, how much is one guy really going to get from Teddy? That's always the issue with Teddy Bridgewater is like, I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't play favorites. He likes to spread the ball. Like he doesn't like to force feed one guy. But garbage time points are always a possibility. You know better than anybody, Mr. Brandon Cooks. So I don't know.
Starts cooking in garbage time.
I think the Cowboys will win this. I honestly kind of think the Cowboys are going to cover. I think 10's big, but they're just so complete at home. Other needs a couple of short fields, and right now with the Broncos, now no Von Miller. Like I don't know, they don't really have an identity. The Broncos to me are just in my head another football team right now, which the Denver Broncos are usually like they have an identity.
Yeah, it's Von Miller usually.
Yeah, exactly. It has been for a while. So I don't know. I think the Cowboys will take care of business again. Dak's back. The whole gang is back.
Yeah, they're going to win this game. They're probably going to beat the Falcons, and then they play the Chiefs. So I'm excited for that game.
Yeah, so they should be 8-1 heading into that battle. But you have the Texans, 2 bottom-feeding teams here. Texans at Dolphins, both teams 1-7. Dolphins are getting 5.5-point favorites here. Over under 46.5. Dolphins are at home. We've been talking about these two teams for a while now. Just with is there any sense of wanting to win? Is there any up for any of these teams? Obviously, one of these teams is going to have to win this football game on Sunday. Yeah. Who's it going to be? I mean, Vegas likes Miami by 5.5. Are you buying that?
That's crazy. 5.5 on two teams that are really bad.
I can see why they do that though, because there's trends, right? Texans have not been. They've been the same trend. 30th on offense, 28th on defense, 29th in passing, 30th in rushing. They do not want to win, right? Whereas Miami, we were saying they were like 31st, 30th, 32nd, 32nd. You're seeing an upstick. You're seeing a trend towards wanting to win here, okay? So they went from 31st in passing to 21st in passing.
Okay.
Right? And their rushing was in 30s as well. Now it's 27. So and they've been playing some pretty decent teams. You know, they've had they're not having like a cakewalk of a schedule. So
and they've had a quarterback carousel. Tua hasn't been able to get healthy. So there's been so many problems for them.
Right. Tua's hurt again, but looks like he's going to be playing through this one. So yeah, I mean, just looking at the whole team and how they're improving throughout the season, I'm seeing a trend where this is I would actually believe that they could want to win this game versus the Texans. Nothing is showing me they're getting rid of players that that were their running back that was like their number one running back or whatever, and there's no signs that are showing me that they want to win games.
Yeah.
So the Texans started 2-0, and they had Tyrod Taylor.
1-0 maybe.
No, the Texans Sorry,
They only won one
They
game.
They won that game even though he got hurt, right?
Oh yeah, they won. Sorry, they started 1-0. They're 1-7.
Yeah.
And then they played the Browns
Yeah.
and kept it competitive against the Browns. Tyrod Taylor was the quarterback. So Tyrod Taylor is coming back this week. He's expected to play. So with him instead of David Mills, Davis Mills at the quarterback position.
That might be the last time you might have to say that word.
Yeah.
So.
I hope so until next year. And so with Tyrod Taylor starting, I think that the Texans definitely have a legitimate chance.
Yeah,
of
they get an
keeping
added
up
dynamic
with
for
the Dolphins, and so for me it's a toss-up game. It can go either way. So I would pick the underdog,
the
Texans at plus 5.5. The 5.5 points for Miami against Texans, that just seems kind of a little too high for me, especially if Tyrod Taylor's playing.
Yeah, I like that. If you're always reading lines in terms of value, you have two teams who are literally just as bad, maybe a little bit worse for the Texans, but the biggest benefactor or thing to change is Tyrod Taylor. And we talked about his consistent play over the course of the years. And so they definitely, you get Tyrod Taylor back and you get them at plus, whatever. If they're 5.5 point dogs, they're probably getting plus 175, maybe a little bit more. So there's definitely value in just taking them straight money line, but I do like them to cover.
Yeah.
Even if Miami wins, I think it's a close game. Should be fun. Even though they're both 1-7, I still will be tuned into that game.
I will not be tuned into this game.
Will you tune into the next game? The Falcons are at the Saints divisional matchup. D-Roge's Falcons are 3-4 now.
Oh,
Saints
real quick
are 5-2.
on that last game.
Yeah.
I'm starting Myles Gaskin.
Oh, is this the first time you're starting him or something?
No, this is like the third time. But
okay.
Has he done well the other two times you started him?
In PPR, I think he's gotten me 10 plus points.
Both times?
And one game, week he got me like 25 points.
Okay.
Right? So, Myles
So
Gaskin.
you've been picking and choosing your spots well. So I expect this should be a good Gaskin game.
Yeah. Sorry. Go on.
No, you're good. The Falcons and Saints. Saints are 5-2. Falcons are 3-4. Saints are getting 6-point favorites at home. 41.5 is the over/under. Tough. I mean, it is a divisional game, right? So I always like the way the Falcons play the Saints, even though I feel like the Saints will typically have their number. Something's to be said for a divisional game. We know no Ridley. That's going to mean that there's going to be something that needs to step up against the Saints defense, which has been their strongest suit this year. They've probably been one of the more consistent defenses across the NFL. So what are we going to need to see from the Falcons in order to pull off an upset? I mean, at least you have the possibility knowing that theoretically the starting quarterback's out for the Saints, right? So the Falcons have to come in with some sort of optimism and hope that they can come away with the win.
Yeah, so Saints defense is very, very stout. They're fourth in the league. And the Falcons are 29th in rushing. So they need to fix that problem first and foremost. You're not gonna be playing from behind all game long and expect to win many games. So I think if they figure out a way to get the running game going, their defense hasn't been too bad. Falcons defense is 8th now. It started off
slowly
pretty bad, but 8th is no joke. That's in the top 33% of the league. So they're playing good defense, and now they have to play against Trevor Siemian in the gang. So 8th against Siemian, that doesn't sound too bad to me. I'm taking those odds. So if they can just run the ball well, feed Patterson, do whatever you got to do. But that's the only way to get past the Saints defense is to break down areas that they're really good at, because clearly teams aren't finding the holes that they need to.
Yeah, there's some teams that are just really bad, and you look at them, they're like, they don't have any chance unless they do some like trick plays or something to win the game. The Falcons look like a team that they have all the places in motion. Like they've got Cordell Patterson who's coming up. They've got Pitts who can extend the field. So I feel like they just need to execute, and they need to execute with the running game and passing game for them to beat the Saints. I like the +6 here, especially because Winston's not in the game. So, I mean, I'm liking the Falcons' chance just to at least cover that spread.
My only fear with covering the spread is, if the Falcons can't stop the run, it's going to be Taysom Hill, it's going to be Alvin Kamara, it's going to be Mark Ingram all day long. And then they're going to put themselves behind the 8 ball, which is their Achilles heel, and be down and have to throw against a stout Saints defense. It's going to lead to some turnovers. It's going to be tough. If the Falcons want to pretend like they are a legitimate threat or an actual competitive football team, they have to win games like this. And so divisional game, you at least see the Saints more than then you see other teams, surprise us, run some trick plays, pull some shit out of your ass, be the Lions of 2 weeks ago, and so they're going to have to do something because I feel like, especially with the Ridley news and stuff, the Falcons just kind of need like a jolt. They need like a jolt, a big win. Their wins have come against like the Jaguars, the Jets, and the Dolphins. It's been like really, really bad teams, right? So beat a good team, build some momentum, Falcons. I don't think they'll get it done, but we'll see.
I mean, the defense, the Falcons defense being 8th, you said, is pretty important. You might even want to put them as a plus
a streaming option,
a teaser option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
bring up the point for the Saints,
yeah,
and then take the Falcons. I don't know if you can do that.
Yeah, you can. I mean, so you'd have the Falcons at +6. If you take a 6-point teaser, you get them at +12. Or you can even do it at a 10-point teaser and you get them +16. Which, yeah, you think that sounds favorable, especially with the Saints quarterback situation.
Yeah.
It's tough. The Saints defense is their X factor, and they're not just an average defense.
Yeah,
they're
really shutting down
good
Tom Brady.
Yeah. So that's what scares me is like turnovers. Like Matt Ryan at this stage, I mean, again, they're going to have to, like you said, they're going to have to execute, and it's going to have to be like a perfect brand of football. And I think just to have a chance. But we'll see. We'll see. The Raiders are 5-2. They're playing a good season, good brand of football. They're going to go to New York. They're going to take on the Giants. The Giants are 2-6. Vegas only favored by 3 points at New York, over under 46.5. Talk to me about why Vegas would not cover 3 points easily.
Maybe they're just going through some stuff after this whole Henry Ruggs situation. I don't know. Like maybe, first of all, if you've been drinking, don't drive.
Please.
If you've been drinking, don't drive 126 miles per hour.
56.
At one point, registered 156. I think at point of impact, it was like 120 something, but he was literally driving 156 miles an hour.
And I was like, how can you hit a car from the back? How can it catch on fire? Well, if you're
that
going
makes sense.
156 miles per hour on the strip, Las Vegas Strip,
Yeah, I watched multiple videos of that accident because there's cameras all over that street. I've never seen a car go that fast on a street before.
That's just unheard of.
Yeah.
And a strip that's full of people.
There was cars.
Yeah, that's very populated, right? It's not like just some random freaking bumblefuck street where you can race.
Yeah.
You're literally Las Vegas Strip, like the prime spot for people walking around doing shit.
It's crazy. I feel like Corvettes. I feel like people should get Corvettes because of how safe they are. He got like a C collar on. Nothing happened to him. Got a little scratch on his nose. After that collision,
going that fast,
hitting
that thing that hard.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
But
he's done. I don't expect him to ever come back into the NFL.
I don't expect him to see outside for like 20 plus years.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah.
But going back to the football game, you gotta like what you saw from against the Kansas City Chiefs a little bit. With the Giants. With the Giants, and so. I guess they can keep it close because bringing that momentum, they could have won that game. They didn't. Kansas City Chiefs pulled off at the end. So, I mean, I don't know. It could definitely be.
Chiefs defense sucks.
Chiefs defense does suck.
It's like one of the worst defenses of the year.
They're bad. They're really bad.
Yeah, I feel like
they traded for Melvin Ingram. Hopefully that helps, but they're freaking horrible.
Yeah,
Melvin Ingram didn't help the Steelers.
Yeah,
he was.
I mean, clearly, that's what I'm saying. Is like if the Steelers are getting rid of a defensive player at this point,
he asked for a trade, so he clearly believes in himself. It's not like a situation where the Steelers are like, oh, this guy sucks, let's get rid of him.
Yeah,
it was more of like there's younger players that are getting more playing time.
Yeah,
so he was like, all right, well, I don't want to play here anymore.
Yeah. He just didn't fit in with the whole scheme, and he wasn't able to adjust to what the Steelers wanted to do. So new place for Kansas City in Kansas City. So maybe he's got a better turnout there.
So if there's no Ruggs, right?
Yeah.
That to some extent helps the spread of all of the targets because everybody's getting targets, but you're taking one guy now out of the equation. Who's the biggest benefactor here? Who do you think is the biggest benefactor with no more Ruggs on the Raiders offense?
I mean, the easy answer is Waller. But if you want to extend the field, if you guys want to hear some names that are not being out on the field, Zay Jones. Mm-hmm. I've heard that is the replacement for Ruggs as of this moment. The people that are going to be, those like 3 times a game they go deep, they're saying that's going to be Zay Jones now because he has similar speed.
The Deshaun Jackson, the Van Jefferson teams.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, that's from fantasy purposes, that doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. But let me talk to you about how you win this game against the Giants, okay? The Raiders are 32nd. They're the worst team in rushing. Mm-hmm. They're the worst rushing team, right? The Giants are 24th in defense, right? So, and they were -3, right? The Raiders are -3. Mm-hmm. That can easily they can easily cover that if they just run the ball well, because they can clearly throw the ball. They're 4th in the league in passing. We've seen what Derek Carr can do throwing the ball, but they do not know how to run the ball. And with a weak defense like the Giants for running, if you can just establish, this is the same thing like the Falcons. You're facing teams you can kind of run against. Sorry, no, it's not the same thing as Falcons. It's the opposite of the Falcons. Yeah. But yeah, the way to beat this Giants team is attack where they're weak at, and that's rushing. And we know Jacobs is fully capable of running the ball. He's done it his whole life. It just hasn't worked out this year. So I think the Raiders need to figure this out, because the Raiders are way too talented of a team to not run the ball properly, to be last.
Yeah.
You have Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs, and you're 32nd.
You're paying 2 running backs the equivalent, like 2 top 12 highest paid running backs, if I'm not mistaken. You have 2 of them on your team, and you're 32nd in the league.
Yeah, someone's getting fired.
Yeah, you're not paying the right position at that point. Then, like you got to figure that out. But you're absolutely right. The recipe is literally there, written in stone. The Raiders do everything else well. Did you just look it up?
No, sorry, I was looking up something else.
Oh, okay.
But they are coming off a bye week as well.
Yeah,
the Raiders are.
So they got some rest. At least the Ruggs information was not going on during like a week of games or anything like that. So nonetheless, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a distraction. It's not like he was a guy getting 10, 15 targets a game or anything like that. But the Giants are interesting. They are the most interesting 2-6 team, because they play a lot of teams very close. A lot of games they play in, you think they're going to win, and they don't end up coming out on top. But they're doing all that with like half of their roster as well, which is equally impressive. Anytime, I feel like if the Giants play a team who wants to come in and like take their foot off the gas or doesn't play as hard, the Giants are going to win. So the Giants continue to play really, really hard, although they're not the most talented football team in the world. If the Raiders come in any other way other than like top notch, I could see the Giants winning this game. Yeah, absolutely. But you would think on paper, comparing the rosters, comparing how they play and how good they've been this year, 3 points is an easily coverable spread for the Raiders.
It should be a Raiders win. But it's of note to say that the Giants, without any of their wide receivers, are still 9th in the league in passing.
Yeah, that's insane.
So
credit Daniel Jones.
Credit to that offense, just as a whole, like just surviving. I know they're 2-6, but this is not a 2-6 team that I would like.
Are you crediting the former Dallas Cowboys coach?
Jason Garrett, Mr. Clapper himself?
I'm not sure who calls the plays there, but I'm crediting whoever's calling the plays.
Yeah.
I think it's Garrett.
Okay.
Well, there you go, Garrett. The Patriots and Panthers Super Bowl rematch from 2006. That's crazy. Patriots are 4-4. Panthers are also 4-4. 2 500 teams. Patriots are actually favored in Carolina, 3.5 points, over under 41.5. If I'm not a Patriots or a Panthers fan and I don't have a lot of fantasy implications, what's making me want to watch this football game? Somebody give me a reason to want to watch this football game.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
So the only reason I'm obviously going to watch this is if CMC plays, 100% watching the football game. They've just neither team has been an enjoyable brand of football to watch, right? You're not jumping for joy watching this matchup right now, unless you're a Patriots fan, a Panthers fan, or you have some skin in the game one way or another. Excuse me. But Mac Jones has been impressive. We talked about the Panthers defense slowly kind of creeping back up to where they were earlier in the year with guys getting healthy. Yeah. Stephon Gilmore's back.
They're up to 3rd again. They were kind of tanking there for a little bit. But, their defense has kind of showed up back again. And I expect this defense to play really well. It's at home against a not too scary of an offense. Mm-hmm. The problem with this offense is they play smart. They play probably one of the smartest football playing teams out there. They don't turn the ball over that easily. Mac Jones does not look like a rookie.
No.
He looks like an old veteran that's ready to retire. But I'm not too excited, but there's a lot of fantasy implications in this game. We got to see if DJ Moore can come back from his slump. Mm-hmm. We got to see if CMC will play or not. Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't play, we can see what Chuba can do for them in the future. If is their real backup, or they can move on from him. Because if he has a bad game again without CMC, like 7 fantasy points, they can easily move on from him. But if he gets like 25, then they'll probably hold on to him. So this is a huge game from that angle. And we also got to see if Darnold can come back from this crazy little weird Darnold situation he's in. It looks like the Jets Darnold again. Yeah. So this is a huge game for them. Yeah. For the Panthers. But tell me more about the Patriots situation. What's going on there?
Yeah, no, I'm the 3.5 spread is like such a sneaky spread because I could see the Patriots like just coming up with a field goal win to win this game, and so it's just a sneaky score. I can see the Patriots like to run the ball, right? So that's what they're going to be doing, trying to run the ball against this defense. The defense is third in the NFL.
You said they like to run the ball, but they're not good at running the ball. They're 21st. Yeah. So they need to figure that out.
Right.
You know?
It's inefficient. That's their brand of football, but it hasn't been executed to perfection.
It's hit or miss.
Yeah.
Like, there's some games that do really well, and like you see like 2 running backs run for like close to 100 yards, and then there's another game where they just tank on the run. I don't know what's going on.
I want to see a game where the run game is shut down for the Patriots, and I want to see Mac Jones be like, I'm the guy.
5 touchdown passes.
I'm the man. I'm gonna lead this team to victory. The Panthers are not a joke of a defense, so if he did that this week, this would be incredibly impressive. You're right. It's a big game for both teams, right? As much as we don't want to, like I'm sure maybe Panthers fans want to tank. They're 4-4. They're literally right in the thick of playoffs, and either win for either team puts them above 500. So it's like a stepping stone. You're heading in the right direction. So it is incredibly important. I don't know. I'm still waiting to see a definitive Mac Jones performance where it's like Mac Jones was the reason the Patriots won the game. It's just been a lot of defense, good running, and Mac Jones being efficient. But I want him to be the reason.
Yeah, it could have been the Cowboys game.
Yeah. No, that was a great game. That would have been the game had they won that one. But yeah, CMC is the story here. Again, whether he plays or not, game time decision up until Sunday. That's going to drastically, I would imagine, even change the spread a little bit, right? That's going to make the line move one way or another if CMC is 100% in. So stay tuned. That's going to be like probably 12 o'clock news or 11:50 news that comes out with all of the implications there. Buffalo Bills are 5-2. They're traveling to Jacksonville. They're taking on the Jags. Jags are 1-6, bottom feeding in the league right now. Bills are favored 14.5, getting really, really crazy with these lines over under 48.5. Just seems like another very, very comfortable Buffalo Bills victory. I honestly don't see any other way here.
Yeah, I mean, you guys already picked the Bills for your Survivor pick this year, right?
Yeah.
So this is going to be my Survivor pick. This is going to be one of the easiest picks of the year.
Yeah.
Number 1 defense going against the 30th passing offense. Like, just book it. This game's over. This game's already over.
Yeah. No, it's 14.5 points, and just because it's 14.5, like I'm not going to take the spread for the Bills, but I don't see any way. Like, Urban Meyer needs to go. Yeah. Like he's not the answer. And now that James Robinson is hurt, Carlos Hyde's gonna come in and
at least for this week he'll be starting. Yep.
Right, starting for this week.
He's not completely out yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. So something to monitor. But they played the Seahawks last week and they showed no signs.
Shit the bed.
Yeah.
Against a horrible Seahawks defense.
Exactly. So with the Buffalo Bills, how are they gonna win?
No. So this would be. Trying to think of like the Jets beating the Bengals was pretty damn surprising, right? This is way bigger of an upset. Yeah. Like this just the Jaguars are not putting a competitive product on the field right now.
No.
And Buffalo just steamrolls games like this.
Right.
Like they just feast on these games. So I'm expecting this. As much as I don't like betting big lines. Like I think the Bills will cover the spread. I wouldn't personally put any money on it, but this just seems like a classic Bills romp.
Yeah, it's one of those defensive touchdown games. Yep. Maybe a kick return.
Yeah, it might be a pick six. Yeah,
Bills defense.
Lawrence might get benched because they're getting beat so badly.
Oh, that would be embarrassing.
So it's going to be tough. There's not really much more of a blueprint in that game, I don't think. The next game on the board, the Vikings. The Vikings are 3-4 now. They're taking on the Ravens in Baltimore. Ravens are 5-2. Ravens are favored by 6 points, over under 50. I mean this is tough, man. As a Vikings fan, I'm at a very big crossroads where obviously you always root for your team to win. It's a really shitty place to be mentally when you're like somehow rooting for your team to lose, because that just means you've given up on the team or given up on the season. And this is a long season, a longer season than every season we've ever had. The NFC's wide open, blah, 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 blah. So that part of me still wants to believe. And the Vikings, for as long as we've been fans, they struggle being really, really bad. So in even seasons where they're bad, where you're like, okay, this is lost hope, especially after losing to Cooper Rush on Sunday night, this is a classic Vikings game where they come out and play really, really well, maybe even somehow win this game, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, look at us now. And we're like, okay, so what is your identity, Minnesota? And so that's my biggest fear coming into this. I don't know what's going to happen. I am so up in the air about this game.
It's very similar. Like Baltimore has a slightly better offense numerically. Defense is head-to-head, passing head-to-head, rushing. Baltimore's slightly better. So it's really hard to say. This game could definitely go either way. Baltimore is at home. where you lost Danielle Hunter. So Lamar Jackson's going to, if there's a prop bet for Lamar Jackson running for more than 60 yards, bet your house on that one.
Yeah.
Because there's no way we're gonna stop him.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear is we've had good game plans for rushing quarterbacks, but it seems like rushing quarterbacks still always get the best of us. And now no Danielle Hunter,
which is arguably the best defensive end in football.
It's and the minute Danielle Hunter went out last game, we struggled getting pressure against a quarterback that's not as mobile as Lamar Jackson. So it's just like, what is going to happen when Lamar gets out of the pocket with that defense? It's
going to be a mess. One thing I've heard is the offensive coordinator has openly said Dalvin Cook will get the ball more, right?
Well, shove it, lick your chops.
Yeah, fantasy purposes, that's great, but that's the direct opposite of what I wanted him to say. Because I want him to say, we're going to move the ball down the field aerially, right? This could include Dalvin Cook getting the ball aerially, but we're still running the ball. Still the same Vikings, still the same Vikings I've seen my whole life. We're never going to be the worst team in the league, ever. But we're never going to be the best team in the league. We're always going to get the middle of the pack draft pick, and we're going to see the same situation next year.
Average draft position for the Vikings the last 50 years. Guess what it is?
It's like, what, 15?
It is 15.
On. Wow.
Yeah.
There you
awesome.
go. That's the epitome of the Minnesota Vikings.
When I told you they were average,
that's literally it.
Average.
You know, I don't know if it's because you guys are big Vikings fans and like you telling me, like, I hear all the good things from you guys, and every week I'm like, the Vikings could win this game.
No, we feel that every day.
And it's so funny because I see that happen every week too, where I'm like, man, Chauvet's got way more optimism in the Vikings than I do this week. Maybe they're going to win this.
Like, I feel like there's, like, defense has been a concern all year.
Yeah.
You know, your cornerback situations and then
Danielle Hunter
being out.
Hunter being out. So, like, and also the Cardinals cornerback.
Yeah, Peterson's out too.
Yeah. So
those are huge. Those are two best players on defense.
Right. So
2 out of 3.
That's huge. But the Ravens do like to run the ball often. Lamar Jackson has been showing signs of throwing the ball more often than running. But like, you guys have all the right places in offense to definitely put up points and keep up against the Ravens.
Yeah, but we want to give you more fantasy points.
We'd much rather feed Dalvin 46 times than worry about keeping up with other teams that we're playing against. Like, you're right. The Ravens have gotten torched on defense this year, right? Quarterbacks are just putting up insane numbers against them. And we literally have a quarterback in an offense that can do that. But watch. Dalvin Cook will have 33 carries for 156 yards.
Over under 7 catches for a backup tight end.
Yeah.
Over under 7 catches for Ham.
God, bro.
You're getting the hang of things.
Yeah, you're slowly picking it up, man. But that's the life of being a Vikings fan right now. Is it's like we're at this crossroads where I cannot, for the life of me, understand which direction this team wants to head. But that's the problem with this team is they don't even know what direction they're trying to head. Yeah, some games they'll want to win, and some games they come out.
It's not about winning for us. It's just about making friends along the way.
Yeah. Honestly,
that's what really matters. You know. Yeah. It really matters. That's what you got to teach your kids.
Yeah.
Who
cares if we watch the Vikings for 70 years? I'm at my deathbed and I'm fucking 104 years old. It's the year 2097, and the Vikings still haven't sniffed a Super Bowl. You know, who cares? God, man. Yeah. But I don't know. Nonetheless,
it gives us character though. It really does. Yeah. Like I've had kidney stones, I've broken bones, and then when I'm in the hospital laying in the bed, I'm like, I'm a Vikings fan.
Yeah.
I can handle anything.
I can handle any amount of pain, baby. Hell yeah, man. That builds that pain tolerance for sure, though. Yeah. But I don't know. Not like we won't be watching that, but it'll be interesting. 6-point favorites for the Ravens. Vikings are notorious for covering spreads, though, so I could see them playing that a lot closer. I don't like big spreads when you're betting against the Vikings. At least.
Every game's like a 3-point game.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen.
So,
but anyways.
Chargers-Eagles, interesting matchup here. Two teams not quite sure what to make of them. Chargers are 4-3. They're at Philly, 3-5. Chargers are favored 1.5, over under 49.5.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, if the Chargers can't beat the Eagles, the Chargers are officially on fake news.
Yeah, I would have to agree. And if the Eagles can't beat the Chargers, the Eagles are officially on fake news.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Eagles' chances against the Chargers.
Yeah, I would agree.
I really like what I saw last week. Mm-hmm. Running the ball, not having Jalen Hurts like throw the ball 30 plus times, establishing that run game, and then Jalen Hurts is there.
They're going to try to do that same thing because the Eagles. I mean, the Chargers' rush defense is pretty bad, right? It's pretty bad. They're 9th on defense, overall defense. So that just tells you how bad they're on defense to make this 9th. Yeah. Versus like they could have been like 2nd or 3rd overall if it wasn't for how bad their running defense is.
There's literally so many holes. There's holes for days on that run defense.
Yeah, and that's going to keep Herbert out of the field.
Yep.
It's going to impact the whole offense from getting enough touches.
No rhythm.
That's kind of been what's the problem for the Chargers, right? They're just not being consistent to be in a rhythm. Because we've seen that offense do great things. Like they run that.
What more do you want?
Yeah.
What more do the Chargers want on offense?
When you have that kind of offense, you cannot expect anything more from an offense.
Rookie of the year for quarterback, if not the best running back in football. Like a proven veteran that can catch anything for the most part. A big target for what do you want?
Yeah, they have it made on offense. Their defense just needs to get enough stops, right? At this point, you're not getting stops. You're literally not getting stops, so that's why the offense has to score every time. That's why they have to go for fourth down at their own 16-yard line because they know that their defense is incapable of stopping anybody. They have to put their offense in very, very high-pressure, high-leverage situations, which, again, it's coming back to haunt them now, 2 straight games. So, nonetheless, you know the Eagles have so many flaws. We talk about it all season long. Both teams are coming in here thinking the other team they should win. Like both teams are coming in here thinking this team that we're playing against has tremendous amount of flaws. This is a very winnable game. The Eagles are at home. The Eagles are still 3-5. They're still right in it, and the Chargers are coming off back-to-back losses, but they know the disarray that the Eagles are in. So 1.5 point spread seems right. Like it's kind of almost like a coin toss. Yeah. Which way are you leaning if you have to side?
I think I'm gonna take the Eagles.
Yeah, same. I'm taking Eagles.
Damn. All right, I'm gonna take Sandy. All right, I'm gonna take LA. I'm gonna take the Chargers. So that'll be good matchup though. Tough test. But the Chargers need that victory, and the Eagles.
You said San Diego.
I did. Did I say it twice now?
No,
but I did correct it.
I did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up. These teams are
man.
Fucking stop moving so much. Yeah. God damn it. But the Packers Chiefs. That is going to be a wild one. Packers are at Arrowhead. No Aaron Rodgers, though. So no Aaron Rodgers this week. It's the Jordan Love show is officially underway.
Real quick, for a preview for next week, we might not have Aaron Rodgers next week either.
Wow.
So tuned. He's technically out for 10 or he would be okay to come back on Saturday.
The Saturday, which is the Sunday before
the game.
Next week's game.
That's Aaron Rodgers. He could probably come back and be fine.
Yep.
But if he tests positive at that time again,
that's another.
Then he's done. Yeah. He's not going to play for another so 2 much weeks, longer. Yeah. So it's like, we're just waiting for. But I am waiting for Aaron Rodgers to come back because he's on my fantasy team. But I did put him on the bench, dropped some no-namers, picked up Jordan Love. And gonna hope for the best.
So let me tell you guys, Jordan Love is starting, right? So we already know the whole bullshit with the Chiefs. They're 4-4 still. They just have not played a consistent brand of football. They're still with that bad of a defense. Yes, we know Jordan Love's a backup quarterback. The receivers are supposed to be back, and the Chiefs are favored by 7.
Yeah. I think this is more on the Chiefs' identity that they need to figure out.
Yeah.
I think when you're at home playing against one of the best teams in the league without their starting quarterback. This is a must-win for the Chiefs at this point. If they don't win this time, the people that had the last few faith in what this team was capable of, they're gonna lose a lot of those fans from that bandwagon for sure. If you can't beat a team without Aaron Rodgers, then you're not going anywhere.
No.
What is this team gonna do in the difficult times in the playoffs?
Yeah.
So I think this one's Packers can lose this game just like they could have lost last game and been like, whatever, we don't have our blah blah blahs. We'll come back and fix this when we have our blah blah blahs.
Yep.
Chiefs have none of those excuses. They've had this bad defense all year long. They haven't done shit about it. I guess they got Melvin Ingram. But the secondary is the issue here. Mm-hmm. Packers are just adapting to all this change and still prevailing, where the Chiefs have this fumbling issue, this interception issue, this turnover issue as a whole, and they have not fixed that. They have this defensive problem. They have not fixed that. So this is a must-win. This is a playoff game for the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. This is, they have to win this game. So I think because of that, they kind of favored the Chiefs.
Yeah. So the Kansas City Chiefs this year are 2-5 against the spread. Mm-hmm. So spread is not in their favor. So that's 6 points with Jordan Love.
7, I think.
Is it 7 points? Sorry, 7 points. And playing against Jordan Love and the Packers. That on paper seems like you should be able to get that, but the Packers' defense isn't bad either.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And Mahomes isn't going up against Jordan Love. Jordan Love's not the second safety there, right? So they're still going to have to try to score and function that offense that has at times been in disarray against an underrated Packers defense.
Right. Yeah. And so, and the Packers' run game is definitely still there. You got Aaron Jones. You got Dylan backing him up. So I can see a lot of running calls. I can see Jordan Love. Also, I'm not really sure what kind of a quarterback is.
He can use his feet.
He can scramble.
He can use his feet.
He hasn't been. But yeah.
He's capable.
He's capable of doing that. So I'm looking for a big game from Jordan Love against this Kansas City defense, and it's going to be a tough matchup. Even without Aaron Rodgers, I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs can come in there and be like, oh, yeah, we got this. No.
No, I'm fully in agreement with that. I think, again, the Chiefs have to look at it like this, right? They're at a crossroads at 4-4. They're getting a gift. I feel like if preseason you circled the Packers on your schedule, you're like, okay, this is a tough game. We don't know if we're going to win or lose this, right? Now you're getting them without Aaron Rodgers, and you absolutely have to come in here, like you said, and view this as a must-win football game because they're not going to get many other easy games on their schedule. They were the Chiefs. They had one of the best records last year, so naturally their schedule's tough. So getting the Packers at home without Aaron Rodgers is a gift, is an absolute gift, and I want to believe that they're going to take advantage of that gift, but a lot of times this season when I've tried to give the Chiefs the benefit of the doubt, they've continued to play the same way they've played all year. So I don't know. And I wrote off the Packers this past week against the Cardinals the minute the receivers were gone and Rodgers was still there, and I was fucking wrong. So I'm not writing off the Packers anymore. I just think 7 points is still too much at this point. So I don't know. I could see a situation where maybe the Chiefs win a close one, but the Packers still cover. Yeah. Or I could see the Packers winning outright.
It's going to be tough for both teams, but I don't like the 7 point spread at all.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I'm going to be rooting for the Chiefs, obviously.
Yeah, 100%.
The Packers are just
same. We need the Packers to lose.
Yeah, they're doing everything that we can't do.
Yeah, they're finding ways to win despite things, whereas we continue to find ways to lose because of things.
Yeah, exactly.
So
sounds like a coaching issue to me.
Yeah, it is.
Oh well, fucking
it is. Any other coaching questions?
Yeah,
I'll answer them all.
3 more games on the board. The Arizona Cardinals, potentially with no Kyler Murray on the block, are going to travel to San Francisco. They're taking on the 49ers. They're 3-4. Arizona's coming in 7-1. Because of the no Kyler situation, San Francisco is favored by 3. San Francisco is favored by 3 at home against the 7-1 Cardinals. Over-under is 45. Do you think that spread is warranted if no Kyler Murray, and it is, in fact, Colt McCoy?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think the 49ers will dominate this game. And it's not just Kyler Murray. It's also Hopkins as well. He's also projected to not play. As of this moment right now, I would take the 49ers win. I actually just dropped pretty much everything and just picked up 49ers defense in all my leagues.
Wow.
Because as soon as I got that notification, I was like, I have nothing to lose here. If he somehow does play, I can just drop him. And then I can pick up the team that whatever team I had, I'll just pick him up again because I dropped this 2 days ago. So, all things pointing towards San Francisco having a nice little bounce back to 500 game here if Kyler Murray and Hopkins don't play. Because San Francisco defense, despite them being 3-4, they're ranked number 2, right? This is a good defense. And now we're saying a 36-year-old Colt McCoy is going to come here and take down the second best defense in the league. I like my chances.
Yeah, last game when we saw Hopkins get out, guys like AJ Green, Rondale Moore weren't connecting with Kyler Murray like they should have. I mean, that last drive was really good, and until the very end, where AJ Green just
did not connect,
didn't connect, didn't turn around. So I think the key thing here is that Hopkins not playing. If Colt McCoy is starting and Hopkins is in the game, I think that they legitimately have a chance to beat the 49ers. 49ers coming in hot. Right, they beat the Bears last week, established the run game. So, and Garoppolo looked good as well. So I think that they should be able to beat the Cardinals. They're 7-1, but no Kyler Murray, different Cardinals team.
Yeah, Kittle's back, so 49ers getting some weapons back on the offensive side. Yeah, I mean, you guys are absolutely right. I just found myself in situations where every time something like this where no quarterback or no big player is gone, I'm automatically writing off that team, and somehow they still play well.
But Kyler Murray saves this team from collapsing.
100%.
Like his little chicken legs are the reason behind 6 of those 7 wins. Like his scrambling ability. I don't know what Colt McCoy is going to be able to do. If he can do anything remotely close to that, then wow. Then I am super impressed with the Cardinals for adapting so well with a 36-year-old quarterback. But I'm projecting he's not going to be able to do those things. Yeah. And Cardinals are not the best team if it's not for Kyler Murray's abilities. Like, we would easily have beaten them as a Vikings fan. And a lot of other teams could say the same thing. So there's a lot riding on those little chicken legs of Kyler Murray. So if he's not playing, then I'm calling it quits on the Cardinals this game.
Yeah, 49ers at home getting 3-point favorites there. So keep an eye out for no Kyler Murray because that's really going to dictate the way that game goes.
I think it's game time decision.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, so we'll know tomorrow. closer to, I think this is a late game, so we'll know at 3:25 Central Time. That takes us to Sunday night. Sunday night, another great game this Sunday night. You have the Tennessee Titans. They're traveling to LA to take on the Rams. Rams are 7-1. The Titans are 6-2. No Derrick Henry, of course, so that favors the Rams by 7 points at home. Over under 52.5. What are we thinking here?
Oh, man, that no Derrick Henry is such a huge loss for them. It's crazy. I mean, I'm looking back at all the games they played and the carries that he got. Why wasn't there more load management? I mean, should have, could have, would have, hindsight's 20/20 and all that. But still, I just felt like he was overused. And he was the reason that, like, allowed them to win games. And now you lose that. You've got Adrian Peterson. Obviously, we've seen how he can be in the past with the Vikings, but he's 36 years old, right? And McNichols is the other guy,
Jeremy.
And so he's not Derrick Henry. So, I just don't see them being able to beat the Rams, where we've seen just amazing offense, right? We've seen Stafford been able to connect with Cooper Kupp, connect with Woods, and then you have Henderson as your running back, DJ Henderson?
Darrell Henderson as your running back. So it's going to be a very tough matchup for the Titans. The Titans' defense has been looking good, but I just don't think that they can come up big against the Rams.
Yeah, I was actually looking at this game, and I was like, oh, it's going to be a high-powered game. Then I looked at like some parlays for this, and then I remembered Ramsey plays for this defense. So I shut everything down, and I chose a different team to worry about, because not only do they have Ramsey on A.J. Brown now. Yeah, Julio Jones is back, but he probably just pay until halftime, and then his hamstring's going to hurt him again, right? So I can't trust this team, especially when Ramsey's on A.J. Brown. I mean, DK Metcalf was able to overpower Ramsey, right? And I do think A.J. Brown is a little bit better in doing multiple things. So if A.J. Brown can overcome this Ramsey situation, then no doubt that's a must-start player forever, even though he already is. But that's not some sort of, like, this is hope we're going off of, right?
Yep.
Like, I want more evidence on why the Titans have a chance of winning this game. And I'm having to nitpick at many different things. But then again, the Titans have shown how special they are at being at 6-2 with everything against them, beating the very, very tough teams. So this is a huge day. This is a huge game. This is just another game for the Rams. But this is a huge game for the Titans, as all these games that have been for them so far.
Yeah, they've continued to prove us wrong. Every game that we're like, this is a big test, the Titans have come out on top. And so, they've continued to answer the questions that people continue to have about them. And yeah, this is going to be the biggest test just with situationally. The fact that it's the Rams, they're probably the best team right now. It's in LA. There's no Derrick Henry. Your biggest offensive weapon now is getting shadowed by, the best cornerback in the league.
Right.
So what's going to be the recipe here for the Titans to continue to keep this close? Now, their defense has surprisingly started to step up. They're not as piss poor as they once were.
Right.
But the Rams offense just creates so many big chunk plays, so many big, like, wide open plays. And so right now it's going to be tough. I mean, I see points being scored. I think ultimately I see the ball being put in the hands of Ryan Tannehill to try to beat you. And it's going to come down to if AJ Green can win that one-on-one matchup with Jalen.
Yeah. AJ Green.
Or, I'm sorry, AJ Brown.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely what's the biggest highlight that the Titans have to win this game.
Yeah.
Julio Jones, I mean, if he is fully healthy, he had 2 weeks off now because he didn't play that one game. He had a bye week, right? So, I mean, and he's still a reputable Hall of Famer, you know? And we don't know how much they're going to use Adrian Peterson, because contrary to popular belief, I think Adrian Peterson can fit in just well in that Derrick Henry role because it's not a very confusing role. It's a pretty straightforward running the ball role. And we mentioned like week 2, week 3, that there hasn't been a running back since Adrian Peterson that looks like Derrick Henry. And now just the way things work, that guy ends up playing behind Derrick Henry or instead of Derrick Henry. So, yeah, it's not a very confusing role. He was never asked to catch too many passes and all that stuff. McNichols will still be taking care of that on third down. The question here is how many more carries is McNichols going to get than normally from a fantasy perspective, because a lot of the waiver situations, I was in some leagues where some people drafted McNichols over Peterson. I was in some leagues where I picked up Peterson before somebody else got McNichols. So this game will really clear that up for us. The biggest problem the Titans face is not even those things that we just talked about. It's that not only is Aaron Donald coming at him now, but now Von Miller's coming too.
Yep.
And during that press conference, did you guys hear that Aaron Donald press conference?
Mm-mm.
So they asked him, they're like, why are you smiling so much? And Aaron Donald's like, this is the happiest day since my child was born.
Who's got you smiling?
Who's got you smiling like that? Feeling like... No, but yeah, he was cheesing hard, and he was like, they were asking why he's doing that. He's like, yeah, this is the happiest day since my child was born. And everybody's like, damn, they're about to just wreck shop out there, because, I mean, those are probably the two most lethal players outside of J.J. Watt in the last decade, right? Yeah. Like, defensive line players. There literally is nobody else outside of those two. So, I mean, yeah, if Von Miller is not injured as much as we thought he was initially, I don't want any part of this Rams defense.
Do you think they can just plug and chug him right away?
Oh, yeah. These are two Hall of Famers. Like, he's going to fit right in just perfectly.
Yeah, it's gonna make it really tough for the Titans. Like, if they were coming in here with Derrick Henry, then you're like, okay, so I mean, this is gonna be a big game, right? But they're already behind the 8 ball with that. Their best weapon is already like almost getting negated. We'll see if he can prove himself there, but. I mean, it falls on the shoulders of a guy who is not typically used to having that much pressure on his shoulders.
And then a really old grandfather in the backfield.
Exactly. So AP is not obviously the Minnesota Vikings AP, obviously. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we talked about this bandwagon of the Titans. So like, I have a weird emotional connection with the Titans now, even though I don't have any of their players or anything. I want them to do good. I like seeing a team that continues to prove people wrong, because that's what I want the Vikings to be, who can never be that. Be like so that's why I like the Titans continuing to win all these games that they should lose. So I want to root for the Titans here.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Titans.
I want to see a team give the Rams trouble. With maybe, again, with the Rams being at full health and the team that they're playing is decimated, right? I want to see the Rams face some adversity to see that they are human and they are beatable. So, again, a Sunday night game, though, so it's prime time. Everyone's going to be watching. It's going to be big stage. That should be good matchup.
What was the spread again?
7. Rams are favored by 7. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
This is a good teaser opportunity.
Yeah.
Bring the points down to 6.5.
You've been big on teasers lately.
Yeah, I mean, you can bring down the points. And then for 7.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yeah, right. For 7, you bring it down 6.5. So all they need to do is just win by.
Yeah, just win outright.
And they get it. Yeah. And then maybe you take.
You pair it with something else.
Pair it with Miami.
You pair it with the Chiefs, even if we think the Chiefs are going to beat the Packers.
Oh, I don't pair it with. I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I'm too scared to do that. But I'd pair it with Miami against the Atlanta Falcons. Bring that down, and then. Pick Miami. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Maybe you'd pair it with the Monday night game, because the Bears are traveling to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Are taking on your Steelers. Show it. Steelers are 4-3. Bears are 3-5. Steelers are favored by 6 at home. Over under is low. I think the lowest on the board. 39 is the over under here. So. I think the Steelers are going to win this game. The Bears have given me no reason to believe that they're capable of winning a game with Justin Fields right now. For 60 minutes at least, they're not putting together a 60-minute football game.
Right.
Steelers defense continues. They've been good. They've had injuries. They're getting healthy. They're scary.
It is. It's. I feel so bad for the Steelers defense. Honestly, they're playing amazing football. They're ranked 5th in the league, and the offense isn't helping. You know, it's just Najee Harris and Deontay Johnson, and that's it. The conversation ends right there. Freiermuth has come up lately, but we need to see more. The sample size is too low to just be like Freiermuth's a GOAT. But yeah, 29th in offense, 27th in passing, 31st in running, and then 5th in defense. So like that'll keep you in games.
Yeah.
Right? And that just everything just lies on Big Ben's shoulders. And I don't know if his shoulder's going to separate it if he has any more problems to that shoulder.
Yeah, the Bears have a tough matchup because they're a run-first team.
Yeah, they're 4th in the league in rushing. They're really good at running the ball.
Right, but the Steelers are also really good at running the ball. They only allow they're like top 7.
You mean stopping the run?
Stopping the run.
Okay.
They only allow like comparatively to all the other teams, they're 7th as far as rush yards allowed.
Okay.
So we've got the recipe to beat them.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen anything from Justin Fields seeing that he can throw the ball downfield. We haven't seen that from him. I mean, yes, he moves around. He can kind of he can get out of that pocket. But you know, as far as the Steelers offense goes, I'm gonna go out and say that Najee Harris could be the rookie MVP this year.
Rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year. Yeah, rookie.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably top 2 in discussion as of this moment, right?
I think it's Chase,
Jamar. It's between them two,
and Najee Harris. And I could see Chase kind of going down a little bit, although Joe Burrow might try to, give him more just so he can get that rookie of the year.
Yeah, I think they're trying to win the division, but
I think that Najee Harris could definitely win the rookie of the year, and I would like to see Claypool be involved a lot more. I think that's the recipe of getting this offense back in check.
Yeah.
Give the ball to Claypool, spread that offense a little bit more.
They have to. They have to take the next step because you're going to fall into the same hole that like we Vikings fans are going to fall into, where your team is going to be good enough to make the playoffs, and then imagine you play a team that has a Jalen Ramsey and all of a sudden Deontay Johnson, the first option, is no longer available. Then what happens?
Right. That's where you need Claypool. You need to use him. The guy's big body.
Dude, the talent is there.
I don't get it.
I want Claypool.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
God, man.
This is one of the biggest anomalies in football of the year for me. Like, I just don't get it.
Is there any kind of like behind the scenes camp? Is Claypool not learning the playbook?
Dude, Ben Roethlisberger has gone out and said like he has all the intangibles to be as good as Megatron. You know, they call him Mapletron because he's from Canada. I almost lived there. From Canada. So, this guy has all of it. He's got the athleticism. He's got the height. He's got the speed. He can catch the ball. Just feed it.
Big Ben, stop calling him Mapletron and not giving him the ball. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
You're keeping all the maple away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All the sap.
Yeah, I want some sap, man.
I've seen some throws to him, but they're all out of bounds. Like, come on.
Give him a chance.
Free Claypool.
Yeah, give him a chance.
I don't even have Claypool in any of my leagues, but just watching such like talent just go to waste is just so annoying.
It is. It's
so annoying.
It's difficult. But yeah, the Steelers are the better team.
Yeah.
You know, just comparatively, they have a more complete football team. Their defense is really, really good and good enough to create distress for Fields, who it's not taking a lot to create distress for right now. So this could be a lot of turnovers, sacks. I mean, Fields is going to have at some point. Fields is going to have to be the reason the Bears win a game to give some sort of confidence that he can do.
I got some insight from last game showing me that could be this game. So Matt Nagy was out last game, right? Because of COVID, right?
Right.
So he didn't have that leash on Fields he has this whole time. So Fields was able to run 10 times. He hasn't been able to run like that before.
Yeah, 10 times for 100+ yards.
Well, that was, half of that was like one play that was like broken because he had to go that way. But yes, just the fact that he was running, he was able to do that. That's what he's comfortable doing. And he wasn't allowed to do that before. And if they see that was a recipe for, success, I see a lot of that happening this game. And as good as TJ Watt he can't outrun Fields, right? Yeah. So I expect a lot of Fields running. So this is another game where rushing quarterback prop bets I'm putting my money in there.
Oh, I'm staying away. Yeah, I think the defensive line is not only can they get to the quarterback, they're also fast. Alex
Highsmith, they're not 4.39 fast though. Justin Fields is 4.39 fast.
Yeah, but trying to get out of the pocket, I mean, like you can definitely the defense can get to him. It's not like he's just going to blow past them every single time. So, I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. He just gets too overwhelmed. Like, the game hasn't slowed down enough for him right now for me to put any faith in him. And the Steelers have too good of a defense for me to think that he's going to overcome it.
No, he's not going to overcome it, but I'm just saying prop bet wise, I think he's going to run he's going to run for a lot of yards.
Yeah. That's going to be the last game on the board. Another fun game, another fun slate tomorrow. Going to be glued to the TV. Hopefully the Vikings somehow can beat the Ravens. Let's end the show with our Survivor picks. We are officially in week 9 of Survivor picking. I will start us off this week. I am 8-0. I've taken the Panthers, the Bucks, the Titans, the Bills, the Vikings, the Rams, the Falcons, and Chiefs, none of which have let me down so far. So thank you so much for all that. For your teams. Shovit, this week I am riding with your Steelers. I'm taking them on Monday night to beat the Bears at home for all of the reasons we literally just talked about. So I'm taking the Steelers. Give me your Survivor pick.
I'm taking the Bills against Jacksonville, and that's all I have to say.
Yeah. All right, so you guys pick the Bills and the Steelers. Now I got to pick someone.
Yeah. Shovit cannot take the Vikings. He can't take the Browns. Can't take the Cardinals, Jets, Bucks, Bills, Packers, Bengals.
Give me the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, baby. You are taking the Dallas Cowboys to defeat who?
Denver Broncos.
The Denver Broncos. I like it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, so Cowboys at home against the Broncos?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, Cowboys at home against the Broncos. That's a good one. So I got the Steelers on Monday night. You get the Cowboys at home against the Broncos. You got the Bills on the road against the Jags. For our Survivor picks, that's the episode, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Excited to watch a lot of football tomorrow and talk more about it on Monday, where we'll bring you the next episode. We are the only playbook. We'll see you on Monday.